Hello, every pony. Welcome to another Gilla's Junk. Wow. I hate that whenever I say the word junk, it sounds like the word drunk without like me. If I'm not thinking about it and how I'm enunciating. There we go. The word. It comes out as a drunk drawer. I almost said it properly that one time. What the fuck? But here, I like to do toy reviews. I like to talk about toys. And when I was going to a Meijer, it was Meijer, not Kroger. Kroger's like the actual grocery store. Meijer's the non-grocery store. Anyways, when I went to a Meijer, I got some really cool finds. Because I've been having this thing of how no stores anymore sell G5 My Little Pony. And it made me really sad. I was like, I'm never gonna find these fucking toys. I legitimately will only need one more pony now, and then I'm done collecting G5. And I don't have her in her alicorn form, so this is great. I killed so many birds with one stone by finding these two, and this was the last one of Misty. So yeah, thumbnail opportunity. I don't know, I see YouTubers do that in videos and leave those in sometimes. I'm like, oh, is that what people do? Anyways, so this is gonna be an unboxing and review of these G5 My Little Pony.
Go home.
So we unboxed the toys. Just in case I want to delete all that, let me just like pretend that I didn't just record all that. So we unboxed all the toys and we're gonna go through each of them and give a thorough review. We're gonna start with Misty because she's the only one that came by herself while the rest came in a pack. So I love Misty. Like, from the reviews of the show that I've watched, she seems like the most interesting character as well. Given that she is a pony who was working for the dark side, or like for the bad guy of the series, and then she was like, but wait, I actually like these ponies. I want to be a good pony. And then she had like a whole revolt. I feel like if they continue the story, a good way to continue her character arc would be like, I don't know, I feel like she deserves to become a magical alicorn. Given her mentor was a magical alicorn that like was evil, an evil queen, basically. I feel like it would be cool to see her revolt and be like, I discovered the power of friendship, and then magically, wow, magical wings, oh my gosh, I can fly. But G5 is officially discontinued, so that will never happen. But if they ever wanted to continue her storyline specifically, from what I've heard, that would be a really good way to do it. I like her cutie mark. Her cutie mark is a butterfly. See, she needs to spread her wings like a butterfly. This is my headcanon. They were going to make her an alicorn if they continued on the series, but I also have a weird feeling that they didn't plan out anything for her character after this, because they probably didn't even like, I don't know. When you're doing an animated show, do you need a pitch bible with like the exact ending of how the show is gonna be? Like, do you need to know that far of a series, even if you don't know if your series is gonna be greenlit, or if it's greenlit, how many seasons it's gonna go for? If you're an animation director, let me know in the comments. That'll also be really helpful for my career as a person going into animation. Do let me know. if you need to have a pitch bible with like the beginning, middle, and end of your whole story, or if you just need to have like a season blocked out and have it all secure. Because if they do have a pitch bible of everything the G5 was gonna be, like having from the beginning, middle, and end of the story, I think they probably were planning on doing something with her in that way. Let's talk about the accessories she came with. So she came with this little cart that you could put little stuff in. I believe on top of the cart you have little balloons. Whoa! So on top of the cart, I think you're supposed to put these little balloons as like a little like hard to hold. But I think it's so you could advertise like you are making balloon animals. And these, I believe you can actually hold because these hooves have pegs. So, look, she's gonna give you a pony, a balloon pony. Aww. Maybe this is why her cutie mark is actually a butterfly. It's just because she likes making balloon butterflies. That'd be stupid. Make it a balloon. Sorry. You could tell I've never watched G5. You might be like, oh, why are you collecting the toys? I want to have every My Little Pony generation underneath my belt. I want G1 through 5 and onward as toys that I have in my arsenal. And the reason why I want all of G5 isn't particularly because I love G5 like I do for G4. Like, the plan for G4 is to have every single G4 My Little Pony to ever exist in mankind. But the reasoning behind wanting all of G5 is because there's not that many. Like, I just need one more of these brushable ponies and then I'm done. Hell, I don't even know if there's a brushable of him. It's the guy one. Soren, or whatever they call him. I'm trying to avoid buying non-brushable. Oh, and I need Zip. Soren and Zip are my last two. And as soon as I have those two, then my G5 My Little Pony collection is done. And I don't have to buy it. I don't have the need to buy anymore. And these, the packs that I found are the coolest ones, so I'm not upset at all. Anyways, so yeah, that's Misty. I love her texture of her hair. It's something that I never really felt on a doll or pony for sure. I don't think they ever did hair types like this until G5, which is something that they definitely should continue doing for the future generations of My Little Pony toys. I mean, My Little Pony is one of those franchises that I don't think is going to die necessarily. I mean, and even if it dies, it's gonna have a nostalgia reboot for any generation that's nostalgic. I know that they already did G1 and G3 reproduction toys, and I know for sure they're gonna do G4 given how much of a cult classic that is. So given all that, My Little Pony as a franchise will not die. Sorry, you're stuck with it. And I hope that they continue making generations. I mean, it might just be a pattern, because how it initially went was G1 was really successful and it lasted for a really long time. Then G2 flopped really badly and it got canceled really short. Into G3, which did pretty well. It did pretty well overall. Then G4 blew up and it was really successful. And now G5 didn't do too well. So it might be like a 3-generation interval of like doing really well, falling off, doing decently well, going back to really well. And maybe by generation, what generation would it be to be another G4? Because if we're about to go to pretty good, which was G3, then or in the stance G6, it'll be G7 that will be like amazing and everyone will want it and it will start a fandom culture around it. And then I don't know, then there'll be old collectors in their like 30s and 40s. I'll be in my 30s or 40s being like, wow, Aw, it's so nice to see like the My Little Pony fandom be revived and shit. I don't know. That's my happy little thought of what could happen. And I'm happy I could get these toys now while they're still being produced, because then I don't have to worry about them being like G2, where they're really hard to find and expensive in the United States, because it didn't sell well in the United States, but it lasted for a decent long time in Europe. I don't know if G5 is a reflection of that. It seems like for most My Little Pony generations, they do really well in Europe, but I don't know about G5. If you're a European, let me know. Let me know. So this set comes with the dragon, Blaze Sky Song. We have Sunny, but in her alicorn form. So she gets these cool ass wings and a golden horn. Then this tiny little dragon. I'm looking down at the box. His name is Sparky. This is the motherfucker that I don't think anyone likes, actually, from the series, but he allegedly glows in the dark. So do all of these toys from this line, which is really cool. God damn it. Why couldn't they just keep this, like, toys series going in a way that they did for, like, I know for G4 they didn't really have too many original characters, but there were still a few. Something fun about, like, G3 at least is that there's so many random characters that will never probably be in that show that they made for it. I think people really wanted G5 to be like G4 with a really good show and recognizable characters, that they kind of neglected the fun part of My Little Pony, which is the toys. Or, like, that is definitely a big factor in My Little Pony, is the toys. Like, I wouldn't have gotten into the toys without the show, for me, of a Generation 4, like, My Little Pony fan. But I still like the toys. And I feel like if people, young kids who don't necessarily know much about My Little Pony and haven't watched the show, see these little guys in the toy section and they ask their mom for it, and their mom's like, okay honey, we can get you that pony, anything for you. And the little kid's like, yay, I don't know what My Little Pony is, and they discover it, they buy the toys, which is Hasbro's main objective. But I don't think their shows are ever the main objective, it's always the toys. And then they have a show that's at least decent. They can make money off of that, but mainly make money off the toys, like they did for G3. Maybe they'll do that next generation. Maybe, but knowing how well G4 was as a standalone show definitely made it a little hard for that. Now on to the better part of the toy line. I really like her. I know I've seen like people that did reviews on these toys for a while, and apparently there's a lot of alicorn versions of her that people have like a bunch of them. This is my first and hopefully only one. I'm not planning on buying any duplicates, and I was really upset at first when I bought this set. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a Sunny. I already have a Sunny. I don't need another Sunny. Until I came to the realization that, oh, this is Alicorn Sunny. I only have Earth Pony Sunny. So that's really nice, actually. I really like that I get to have the two variations that probably I would ever need of these ponies, which is Alicorn and Earth Pony Sunny. Or I would ever want. So I'm not complaining. I'm not upset about that at all. Genuinely, I'm not upset. But something I don't like is, you can't hear it, is the crunchy hair shit they put in the hair. Like, I get it, you want to keep the curl being nice and voluptuous, but it's so gross feeling. I don't know anything about doll hair. I watch a lot of doll YouTubers and My Little Pony YouTubers, and people going like, this is polypropylene, this is saran, this is blah blah blah. I don't know it. I think these are polypropylene hairs though, and you know, it's definitely not the highest quality feeling hair, mainly with this fucking crunchy ass mane that it has. But honestly, I'm not complaining too much about how this pony is, like, the hair. I like how it's styled. I like how it looks. It looks really nice. So I'm not complaining. I'm not going to be like, grr, polypropylene. Mainly for people like Misty. Like, I bet she could benefit from saran hair or higher quality. But honestly, this feels great. This is fine. I'm not complaining. I might complain if it ever gets tangled up in a knot and then I have to figure out how to do this. Because I can't just boil wash it. Or if I wanted to boil wash it, it would just go straight and I would feel so sad. But, oh my gosh, if I had to straighten this hair, this will be the longest hair ever. But I love her, like, natural texture of this hair, so I'm not complaining about this. Though I will complain about product in the hair, like, holy shit. Gross, gross, gross. I wish that we didn't have to use that. Do better. Do better, Hasbro. Not like you're doing any more G5 anyway, but, like, do better. Okay, for Blaze. God, her mold is so cool. Ah! I love her horns. I love her little ears. I love her. I love her. She's so cool. Like, out of all the ponies, or out of all the G5 things I could have wanted, this is definitely, I'm so happy I found her, because I was like so like hell-bent on knowing that I was like, I'll probably never find them in stores, and then I found them in stores and I got a $10 off all toy purchases. I got a good deal. I got a good deal. So she is a dragon, if that wasn't so obvious. I love the horn detail. She also has product in her hair and it's more crunchy than Sunny's. So that's a disappointment. And like, part of me wants to like nitpick and be like, why isn't this fluff? Why isn't this hair? Why didn't they root the tip of her tail? But honestly, who would? I don't think any toy does that. So like, I'm not gonna nitpick about that. But yeah. Okay. Slight side tangent. My friend Reed, he's a Transformers collector, and he brought around this tiny little Transformer, and I was holding it and feeling his plastic, and I was like, oh, that's not the highest quality plastic. I get why you can't like transform, it must be a budget toy. And he was like, actually, this is really good quality plastic, what are you talking about? And like, I don't know, maybe I'm used to feeling toys that feel like this, where this is still like heavy. It was a really light plastic, so I was like, oh, so it's cheap, so it's like a McDonald's toy plastic. This, even though it's like definitely not expensive, they're using polypropylene, and they're not putting like the most effort. Like, her belly's not painted. Like, obviously it's not the most high quality production toy ever, but this feels a lot more hefty than that tiny little Transformer. So I was like, oh, okay, so that must be some cheap quality Transformers. I don't know, that's just how I thought. I guess I was wrong. Any Transformers fans in the comments, to tell me how wrong I am and educate me, because I love learning about new like toy series that I don't really collect personally. I think that's why I surrounded myself with so many Transformers fans. Into shape. Shape it up. Get straight. Move forward. Don't go ahead. Okay. I went and grabbed my other G5 My Little Ponies for my shelf, and so I could do a little bit of a comparison. These ones I got for super cheap at one of those like overstock stores, which I think a lot of these ponies end up going to. So if you ever need a good deal, check out your local overstock store. Anyways, These ones are not the articulated ones. So her, this Pip, I believe? Pip's hooves cannot move at all. A little disappointing. But these still look like they're from the same line. That's always good. Something I observed is that the actual, like, Pegasi don't have open wing molds. You might not think that's such a big deal. Because, like, maybe the reason why, she has an open wing mold and the Dragon do is because of the set that they were in. And also her wings are, I'm not gonna try to, but her wings seem removable. But maybe it's because she's a alicorn, she got the treatment of being a, person with real wings. But I also believe it's, one, maybe the articulation issue of, like, he has no articulation, she does. This was a lower budget toy, she isn't. But also, all of them, like, the reason why it's kind of a big deal for me is that G4 only had open winged ponies. Like, if you were gonna get a pony with wings, either an alicorn or a Pegasi, that bitch's gonna have fucking, like, open wings. This is an open wing concept, you know? This series has a closed wing concept, and I think it's probably better for their molds to just have to engrave wings into it. But yeah, these are them side by side. Oh my gosh, they're making out, they're making out, they're making out. Love lesbians, love lesbians, love lesbians, love lesbians. Love is for all. Into all of the night. Genuinely, I wish G5 did a little bit better than it did. I wish it had a lot more of a backing to it. I fear that, sadly, a lot of toys have fallen off from the public, like, from children. The people who are supposed to be buying these things, they still love toys. Don't get me wrong, I have a little brother who's Gen Alpha, and he loves his toys. He loves the toys that he has. So I'm not gonna say, Gen Alpha doesn't play with toys anymore, Gen Alpha doesn't do this, Gen Alpha doesn't do that. This is a wrong assessment for a whole generation. It's weird to generalize so much. Like, there's statistics that could prove things, but it doesn't mean that all children from that era are going to agree with those statistics. Like how 50% of young men voted for Donald Trump. Sorry, don't mean to be political right now, but yeah. I think my general assessment of these toys is I wish they did better. I think they could have if they started off a lot stronger and they had more variety of characters. Because G4 was a fluke. G4 was a very lucky chance in time for it to blow up as big as it did. Because it had a good show from a trustable showrunner, Lauren Faust. And so it's like, yeah, it's destined to be a pretty successful show that can sell toys. It's opposite of what most, like, shows and what My Little Pony shows were back in the day. Of they were just basically commercials. Well, My Little Pony G4, even though it was a show to sell toys, it felt like it was its own thing. It had its own universe. You didn't need to follow the toy line. You didn't need to collect the toys to enjoy it. You didn't feel the need to play with your My Little Pony because of the show. At least not a lot of people did. So yeah. that's it for today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a second since I've been able to do something like this, so I hope you guys will stick around to see more. I hope everybody has a great day, night, wherever you are, and remember to stay creative. Bye!